What really happened between Jungkook and Jimin? Why did Taehyung cry 24 minutes ago? Check out the newly revealed surprising facts. Do you ever feel like something is not right? Like a big secret that has just been revealed? Something that changes everything? Maybe even the unexpected? What happens if we are given a clue that goes unanswered, leading to a great mystery? 24 minutes ago, the K-pop world was shocked. Jungkook and Jimin, two big icons from BTS, seemed unable to hide what they had been keeping tight. Then, a bigger, more surprising question arises. Why is Taehyung crying? An unexpected surprise, and fans were blown away in his confusion. It all started with an unexpected confession, which came so deeply, shaking the entire BTS fandom. What exactly happened? What was revealed in the session that was previously only considered a rumor has now been proven to be true. You will definitely not believe what happened next. Jungkook and Jimin, two best friends who never leave each other, are harboring something that not many people know about. The series of events that began 24 minutes ago opened the veil that had been tightly closed. They are involved in a story that is much bigger than just friendships or bonds between group members. And in this electrifying moment, Taehyung, a member known for his strong and warm personality, burst into tears. Why? The secrets revealed aren't just about Jungkook and Jimin. Behind their smiles, there is an emotional story full of inner turmoil. Fans must have felt shocked, stunned, and even more surprising is the unexpected emotional impact. When many try to reveal what happened, do all these clues lead to one conclusion that we cannot avoid? Surprises that do not stop at just this one incident. You want to know more about what really happened, don't you? Why is Taehyung crying? What led to this tearful moment? Do not miss the series of stories full of surprises that have begun, a story deeper than we imagine. Join us on a journey that reveals even more about what's hidden behind the scenes. Can you imagine how much impact it can have in just a few minutes? As it turns out, the secret that has been hidden between Jungkook and Jimin is not just a friendship story, but there are much bigger things that can shake the foundation of BTS. We're talking about something fans may never have expected, a deeper connection than we imagined. And this is not just a rumor. It is a reality that is now being revealed to the public, revealing the dark side hidden behind the glitter of the K-pop world. Jungkook and Jimin, who we all know as the two best friends in BTS, apparently hide more than just a close friendship. There are realities that lead to the conjecture that their relationship is much more complex. But it's not just about their closeness as friends. In an unexpected turn of events, a revelation leads to speculation that there may be something more than just an emotional bond between the two. Perhaps it's about feelings that are more personal and more intense than we imagined as a devoted fan. Are you ready to accept the fact that there may be deeper feelings than you thought? As the K-pop world is rumbling with the news, not a few are surprised by the fact that the relationship between BTS members may be much more secretive than we know. Do you really believe that all this is just a coincidence? Or is there something to hide on purpose? Or is it a bigger game, played smartly to grab the public's attention? And then, we turn to Taehyung, who instantly changes his face to be full of emotions that can't be hidden. Why? What made Taehyung, who is known to be strong and not easily influenced, cry? These are not ordinary tears. It's a hint that there's something much bigger going on behind the scenes, and fans have no idea what's going on. Fans wondered if there was something going on between the BTS members that they had never known before. Are there hidden tensions that are now beginning to surface? Don't think that this is a mere drama. It is a story that has a greater impact than we can imagine. Not a few are starting to question, is this all part of the game that is deliberately made so that BTS continues to get big attention? Is this just a marketing ploy, or is there something deeper and more emotional going on behind the spotlight? The loyal fans must have felt confused, disappointed, and didn't know what to think. It's not just a world of entertainment. It's a world of feelings, sacrifice, and perhaps betrayal. Are Jungkook and Jimin caught up in a game bigger than just their bond of friendship? And is Taehyung crying because he realizes that this hidden reality can no longer be hidden? When this news began to spread, not a few who feel confused and surprised. Perhaps this is the moment that will change everything. Something more than an ordinary controversy. This is a story that will continue to be counted as one of the greatest moments in BTS history. Fans began to feel shaken, shocked, even angry. How can something of this magnitude happen in a world that seems to be full of happiness and success? Is everything just a surface, while behind the scenes there is a much darker thing? These questions began to arise, and no one had a definite answer. Now, we are faced with a reality that is difficult to accept. This big secret has come out, and the BTS world, and the K-pop world in general, will find it difficult to return to its former state. No one can foresee what will happen next. But one thing is certain. The world of entertainment has changed forever, and we can only wait to see how this will all unfold. As fans, we are often caught up in the illusion that we know everything about our idols, that we can understand them completely through what they do in public. However, it has just been revealed that perhaps everything is not as simple as we imagine. Jungkook and Jimin, who have always been supportive and friendly, now seem to be opening a new chapter in their story, and not a happy one. Why? Because the reality is much more complex and dark than we imagine. The world of K-pop is often filled with sweet news and perfect imagery, but who knows what's really going on behind the scenes? Why do things that we have always considered part of their closeness now actually cause a big question mark? As we know, Jungkook and Jimin have always been the two most visibly close members. But what really happened behind their togetherness during this time? No one really knows, and it seems we have just been faced with a harsh reality. There is more tension between them than we ever thought. However, a big surprise came from Taehyung. Why is she crying? What makes a man who usually looks so stable and full of energy, who is often the center of attention, can be so fragile? Are there any tensions that we have been ignoring? Why is he suddenly so open with his feelings? One question that confused many people was whether Taehyung was crying because he knew that something bigger was being hidden, something that would change BTS's face forever. It is likely that Taehyung's tears are not just about what happened today, but about the entire long journey they have gone through together. Does he feel disillusioned with something bigger than just their friendship and work? Is it possible that there are deeper, even darker, relationships that have already begun to surface? This question shook the fans because they knew, as it had already happened before, that there were many things that BTS did not reveal. Their world is always full of mysteries, but this time the mystery is so real and full of emotions. Jungkook and Jimin get caught up in a game they didn't choose. They could have survived in a lie, obscuring reality, but now everything is revealed, and it makes fans wonder, what exactly is happening inside the BTS group? Are they really as good as we think they are? Or is there a falsehood behind their smiles and friendships that seem so perfect? This revealed truth seems to provide clues that the relationship between BTS members is not as simple as we see. Even in a world full of friendships and bonds, there is a reality that we must face. There are deep tensions and perhaps feelings that have been held back. While fans expect to see their friendship and closeness intact, the reality is much more complicated than we ever imagined. Can we accept the fact that all this is part of a more complex life? Or will we continue to force ourselves to believe in such a perfectly constructed image? And is this revelation just the beginning of something even bigger? Are there more surprises waiting for us in the future? With everything already revealed, who can be sure that we know all about BTS? Their world, which we have always considered transparent, turned out to be full of secrets, and perhaps this is just the beginning. Taehyung, with his tears, probably already knew something deeper, and was it something we couldn't fully understand? All of this certainly adds to the tension that has been built between fans and BTS members themselves. As this news spreads more and more, we wonder, do we really know them, or do we only see the side they allow us to see? As we know, the world of entertainment is not always what it seems on the surface, and perhaps now is the time to admit that we only know a small part of this story. All of these clues lead to one inevitable conclusion. The BTS world we know so far may be much more different than we imagined. Are you really ready to dive into the depths of the truth that has been hidden for so long? A reality that we previously thought was impossible is now beginning to become apparent. Jungkook and Jimin, who we have always known as two figures who always seemed close, turned out to hold something bigger than we could imagine. It's not just a casual friendship, but there's a darker, more emotional dynamic behind their closeness. Why did they choose to hide this for so long? What are they really trying to cover up? Many argue that this is part of the big game played by BTS to keep their image in the public eye. However, can we really believe that everything is just an image? Maybe we've been caught up in the narrative they've created for too long, without really delving deeper. Now, the revealed reality forces us to question everything we once believed about them. There is no longer room to ignore the fact that there is an invisible tension latent deep within them. And if that's not surprising enough, what about Taehyung? We know very well that he is a figure who always looks full of energy and almost unshakable by anything. But now, we see her crying, something we never thought would happen. We are talking about a man who is famous for his toughness and charisma. Why is she crying? What really moved his heart so deeply? Was there anything more than a small incident that affected him? Or is this a sign that Taehyung, like the others, has been burdened by the secrets he's been harboring? You may be wondering, is this just part of the drama that is deliberately built to annoy fans? A tactic to maintain their popularity amid the media spotlight that never dimmed. But what if everything is more complicated than that? Are we ready to accept the fact that there is a much deeper internal conflict than we imagine? The tension between the BTS members isn't just a rumor. It's a reality that is now beginning to unfold, and the impact will be greater than just a mild controversy. Maybe Taehyung was crying not just because of a certain situation, but because he was starting to realize something bigger about their journey. Something they may not be able to overcome together, or worse, something that could tear down everything they have built. Is there a possibility that the relationship between BTS members is not as beautiful as we imagine? Have we only been treated to the ideal picture they made to maintain the image of the group? The question now is, are we ready to accept the fact that the world we see from the outside can be full of falsehoods? During this time, we may be too lulled by the image of perfection they create. But what happens when that perfection begins to crack? What will happen to the fans who have always been faithful to support them if this reality is increasingly difficult to accept? More and more evidence is pointing to the fact that perhaps we don't really know BTS the way we think. And are you ready to face the fact that maybe even they are not ready for all this? Jungkook, Jimin, and Taehyung, they are humans who also have a dark and fragile side that we can't always see. We may have idolized them for too long without really understanding what's behind the scenes. And now, that reality is beginning to open up little by little, leaving more questions than answers. Is all this just a ploy to attract attention, or is there something more serious behind it? We will not know for sure until they themselves decide to talk. However, one thing is clear. The world of BTS, the world we think we know, may not be what we imagine. When all this is finally revealed, perhaps we will realize that everything that we perceive as truth is only an illusion. The world considers itself to know everything about Jungkook, Jimin, and Taehyung. They boldly reveal something that has been hidden under the glare of lights and screens. Perhaps we have long been trapped in the illusion that they are perfect figures who always perform in harmony. However, the recently revealed reality shows that their relationship is not as sweet as it seems. A dark side that has been untouched now begins to open, and it is more disturbing than we imagined. We are often caught up in what is presented to us by the media and idols, as if everything they do has been polished to perfection. But what happens if what we see is just a small part of the big picture? The tension between Jungkook and Jimin seems more complicated than we thought. And it's not just a fleeting piece of gossip or rumor that evaporates. It's a reality that tests the limits of their loyalty. The question now is, why did they choose to keep that image for so long? Is all this just part of a strategy to maintain fan loyalty and build an unshakable image? Or is it more than that? An attempt to hide something bigger and more complicated that, if revealed, could shake the K-pop world at its roots? Why do they choose to continue to live life in the shadow of uncertainty and not open themselves completely to the public? However, the more surprising thing is what happened to Taehyung. From the very beginning, he was always known as charismatic, unshakable, and full of confidence. But why is she crying? Why is it that the man we consider so tough can show a fragile side that we have never seen before? This could be the result of a long-held burden, or it could be a sign that he or she is beginning to feel trapped in a harsh reality that is increasingly difficult to accept. Many believe that Taehyung's tears are not just a matter of personal feelings, but may also be about the tremendous pressure he experienced as part of BTS. Often, we only see the beautiful outside of their lives, but who knows what's really going on inside? Does he feel lost in a world of relentless scrutiny and demands? Or maybe he has already begun to realize that, like everyone else, he can no longer hide from the fact that BTS is not the complete group that we think it is. What is really going on inside this group that we don't know about? Are there more secrets they keep? And is this just the beginning of